Welcome to Firearms of America. Today, as you guys can see, I have some Rocky boots over here. And these are a very popular Rocky Outback GTX hiking boot. Let me take one out and we will start. I'll start with a little overview. Overall, I do like these boots a lot. I think they do offer a lot of great features for the price of only $137 currently on Amazon. The link is in the description below. Overall, very comfortable, can beat Gore-Tex waterproofing full-size boot. Let's do some reviewing. So, as some of you already know, this review is specifically for my Ultimate Survival Boots section. So, if something bad happened, and maybe you were hiking about, and or maybe you were sitting in the house and you had these boots as an option to put on. You put them on, and now you had to leave your house and walk until you're far from danger. You're in a safe zone, and on the way you had to climb, you had to fight, do I don't know, whatever's necessary to survive, right? Would these be good for your survival? How to make judgment? We make the judgment based on 8 different criteria. Let's begin. Criterion number 1, comfort level. Of course, one of the most important, and like I said, the comfort level I do like a lot. They're definitely very comfortable. And in order to test the comfort, I do a 3-mile run. Yes, bulky boots, pretty heavy. It wasn't that easy, alright? Sometimes it's not easy. Happens. And then a 5-mile walk, non-stop, no pauses in between. A total wear time, I continue wearing after I'm done with the run and the walk. I continue wearing so that the total wear time is about 8 hours, alright? So, let's get into the comfort level. There are a few factors that contribute and take away from that comfort. The first one, of course, being the weight. This is size 10, and let's see what we got. 26.5, definitely on the heavier side. Now, to give you the reference numbers, if you're looking for something lightweight, you want to try to find something under 20 ounce. The more under 20 ounce it is, obviously the lighter it's going to be. 6 ounce is definitely noticeable weight. So running, definitely hard, and walking for extended periods of time, you're gonna feel some fatigue from the weight on your feet. Keep that in mind. So not a very backpacking friendly boot, right, that you can just walk for 10 or for 15 miles a day, without feeling, you're gonna feel fatigue, right? You're gonna feel tired. Your muscles gonna be tired. That's normal, right? You're putting in effort, but from the weight on your feet. All right, keep that in mind. Another factor that contributes or takes away from comfort level. Let's see what we got this time. Is the inner sole, and the inner sole here is actually pretty good. It has a lot of cushioning, which I do like, especially for hiking. As you can see, there's a very nice layer of cushioning throughout the whole. Some extra in the heel area with some heel pad support, some arch support here, nicely cushioned. And even in the front, it has some very good cushioning. So Rocky did a great job with this inner sole. Now, the rest of the boot, you do have some padding. The shaft is very soft, the tongue is fairly soft, and of course on the inside, this area, because it's pretty much soft, very soft material here, so definitely pretty soft throughout the whole thing. Another factor that I wanted to mention here before we move on to the next criterion is the flexibility of the bottom sole. Here it is surprisingly very flexible, because look how bulky this outsole is, but it is very flexible. So that definitely helps with the comfort level overall. But let's move on to the criteria number 2 now. It's proofing and protection. Like I said, Gore-Tex waterproofing, can't get better than that. You probably noticed the gusseted tongue over here, which gives you plenty, almost the full shaft of the waterproofing. So great job there, Rocky. Didn't sacrifice much of the length of the shaft for waterproofing, so pretty good. Now, protection wise, obviously, there isn't much in the toe. It's fairly soft. Ankles, again, there is some padding, but again, it's not much. Same thing in the heel. Of course, you do have some very good protection from the bottom, because the outsole is so bulky, but we'll talk about the outsole a little bit later. Let's move on to the criteria number 3 now, quality and design features. Like I said, quality-wise, Rocky, everybody knows that brand. They're pretty good whenever it comes to boots. They have a lot of models out there. But these specific ones, like I said, the link, Amazon link is in the description below. Check them out. over 400 5-star reviews. So very, very impressive. People definitely do like these. Now, speaking of the design features, usually here I talk about the lacing system. You probably noticed the lacing system here is nothing crazy. We got three closed hooks pairs, 3 pairs of closed hooks, and then we have 4 pairs of open hooks. Overall, pretty good. Not as easy to tighten these because obviously, you know, the full size boot with that much of the open hooks, you kind of hit and miss, right? But again, it takes time to adjust, but once you do, you'll feel comfortable. The plus of having so many open hooks on the top, on the shaft, is that you can put these boots on fairly quickly and take them off fairly quickly too, which is another plus for our ultimate survival situations. But let's move on to the criteria number 4, the outsole, traction and stability. Now, whenever it comes to the outsole, in order to test it, I do my runs and my walk on the variety of different surfaces, starting with some older asphalt, then the newer tarmac, some sand, dry sand, wet sand, dry grass, wet grass, trail surface, some concrete, rocky road, and then finally marble and tile. And this performs very, very good. This actually has the oil and slip resistance, so it does perform great on marble and tile, surprisingly, honestly. Although I really don't see much of the oil resistant, slip resistant grooves, which I typically see, but here it's a little bit of a different kind of technology, and it works. It works. The pattern, the design pattern works. And I mean, it looks flat, but at the same time, these grooves are very, very aggressive. So you are definitely stable on stuff like wet grass, right? Where you need some aggression. Pretty good overall. Now, snow and ice, these would be pretty good in the snow. On the ice, you can't really expect much from anything that is, unless it is specifically designed for the ice, to be good on the ice. Keep that in mind. But overall, that will be pretty good on the snow. So keep that in mind. Let's move on to the criteria number 5. Now, I kind of started talking about the whole ice and whatever. Temperature, right? So temperature wise, I do like these a lot because they're very balanced. They're not too hot. I was testing them here in about 90 degrees. Did not overheat, so fairly breathable. But I think they would be pretty good in the winter as well, although they are not insulated. Keep that in mind, so nothing severe. But if you implement some insulated socks, because these do have a good waterproofing technology, and because the outsole is very good, I think you can get away with some decent temperatures in the winter as well. But if you guys have any specific experience in the colder temperatures with specific, numbers, drop them in the comments below. That would be very, very helpful. Let's move on to the criteria number 6, the sizing. These are definitely true to the size, although I always do recommend getting a half a size bigger so that you have a little bit of extra space, half a size bigger than your normal shoe size, that is. Extra space in the toe box definitely helps to protect you from unnecessary fatigue. Let's move on to the criteria number 7, the balance of application. So, if these boots really were your ultimate survival boots, something bad happened, you put them on and that's it, you had to survive, would they be good? Honestly, I think that's a pretty good choice overall, especially if you do prefer Gore-Tex, if you do prefer a full-size boot. The only downside of this boot is that it is on the heavier side. It definitely is on the heavier side. 26 ounces, definitely noticeable weight, all right, on your feet. But for the comfort, for everything that they do offer, and for the price, which we will talk about in the next criterion, I think it's a pretty good package overall. You can't go wrong. But let's move on to the criteria number 8. The very last one is the price. And like I said in the beginning, these are currently $137. I'm actually not sure if I said the price in the beginning. I don't think I did. But yes, these are $137 currently on Amazon. I think that's a fantastic price for everything you're getting, especially considering that this is a full-size boot with GTX waterproofing. I mean, honestly, usually just a GTX by itself, when you see that label on the boot, that's an extra $50 right there just for the GTX technology. So that's a pretty expensive technology. Fancy membrane, whatever, implemented into the fabric. But for $437, not 400, but $437, $37. I think this is definitely getting a great boot right there. So let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think about this review? What do you think about this Rocky Outback GTX hiking boot? If you have any requests for reviews, you can drop them in the comments below as well. I always look out for those. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. This was Firearms of America. I'll see you guys in the next video.